Hi children, hope you're all doing well. So in the last session we have concluded the lesson number 9, that is the bond of love. So the bond of love was in between the narrator's wife and the smart young bear, which was named as what? Bruno. So sloth bear. So we all enjoyed it. Am I right? So now let's move into another poem which is called The Snake Train. Have you ever seen a snake, children? No? Sometimes? Yes? No? Okay. If at all, just imagine that you had seen a snake, what would be your immediate reaction? If I see, I immediately run inside. I cry for the help loudly. How about you? You also might do the same thing. Then we may call the snake catcher. If at all we know somebody. Or else what do we do? Usually what our elders would tell us to do. Usually, the people in the society, the people in the neighborhood, the people in and around, they would advise us that snakes are very poisonous, snakes are very harmful, so better to kill them. It is a standard advice, it's a standard instruction and advice usually given by the people in the society. They can be our own family members or the neighbors or anybody. They would definitely tell us from the beginning, like from my childhood onwards, even I was just hearing the same thing, that snakes are poisonous and kill them. This is what I heard. So you may also hear the same thing here and there, in and around. So in this poem, we are really going to come to know that are all the snakes harmful? Are all the snakes poisonous? How do we need to behave with them? How do they react? Let's see in the point of view of the poet. So the poet is W.W. Ross and the poem is The Snake Train. So please all of you make a note of it in your running notes also. The Snake Train by W.W. Ross. And before I start this poem, children, I just would like to tell you, in communicative English of 10th class reader, we used to have a poem called Snake, which was written by D.H. Lawrence. Now communicative English is completely taken away, abolished by the CBSE board, but it was a lovely collection, I could call it. If at all you come across any ebook while you surf in the CBSE website, you can just go ahead with this poem, Snake, which was written by D.H. Lawrence, in which he just gives us a beautiful story, the way he had encountered a snake coming to subside its thirst, very beautifully, and he gives all the qualities of a very gentle human being to the snake there, and he tells us that all the snakes are not poisonous. He tells us in his poem, that is D.H. Lawrence, that is in 10th class reader of communicative English. So now the same kind of poem we have, that is called The Snake Train, which was written by W.W. Ross. Even this is as beautiful as the same way. So let's see now. So page number 125, children. Open your textbooks as well and take the teaching notes in your running notes. Most of us think of snakes as fearsome symbols of death, but the snakes in this poem is itself a victim. So just look at the way he has started the poem, giving us the details about. Yes, as I said, we have been hearing the same thing, that they are so fearful, they are so scary, they are so poisonous, they are very dangerous, and it's nothing but once we encounter, if at all it bites us, we are no more. That's nothing but symbol of death. Snake has become symbol of the death. This is what is being learned by all of us. But here in this poem, the poet tries to tell us that the particular snake here in this poem is not the symbol of the death, but itself it becomes the victim. Itself it becomes the victim by somebody. That somebody is the mankind. Like in On Killing a Tree, we have already come across about the unkind nature of the man. Am I right? So here also you will see the same kind of unkind, very, very, unfair behavior of the mankind. Let's see. The snake trying to escape the pursuing stick with sudden curvings of thin long body. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes. He glides through the water away from the stroke. Oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. Small and green, he is harmless even to children. Along the sand he lay until observed and chased away, and now he vanishes in the ripples among the green slim reeds. Though it is a very short free verse poem, it gives us a lot of knowledge about the snakes here. So there is no particular rhyming scheme here, it's a free verse. There is no particular rhyming scheme. So here he says that the snake trying to escape in the sense to defend itself, to run away. From what it is trying to run away, children? The pursuing stick. So it does mean that the snake's movement, the snake was seen by one of the man, one of the particular person standing over there, who was just throwing a stick on the snake to kill the snake. So that is the reason why the snake is trying to escape from the stick which has been thrown, which has been approaching. Like pursuing is nothing but approaching, which is reaching it. With sudden curvings of thin long body. So now the poet is describing about its body. How does it look with its curving thin body, long body? As you all know, curvings are nothing but the twists, the curls, and curls you call it as. How is the movement of the snake? You all know it. The body is so slim, so thin, very long. And how does it move? Like zigzag. It moves like curls and curves it has in its body. So he's describing the body, saying that as soon as the snake noticed that a man has thrown one of the sticks on the snake to kill it, then immediately it reacted, pushing itself away, running away by moving with curving, having thin long body. How beautiful and graceful are his shapes. So now see the view of the poet. As he is a animal lover, you can just think about him. He is calling the snake as a beautiful creature. Then he is calling its shapes as beautiful shapes, because it has got curving, thin, long body. He glides through the waterway. So where did it go? It entered into the water. Gliding is nothing but moving very gently, very smoothly. Smooth movement is called gliding. Then immediately who is he referred to, children? Here the snake. So this is called as personification, as a poetic device. If at all they give you and they ask you the question that what is it here? So we are giving the qualities of a human being to a snake here. So he glides. So and how beautiful and graceful are his shapes also we have come across before. So who is his here? The snake's beauty is being described. The snake shapes are being described, right children? So when we are giving the human qualities to this particular creature of a snake, then it is nothing but a poetic device called the personification. So he glides through the water away, it tries immediately to move gently in the water. From the stroke is nothing but as the person has thrown the stick towards it. So to just escape from the stroke, that is the stroke, escape from that, whatever the stick has been thrown towards him. So to escape from that stroke, it immediately started gliding into the water. Then the poet is feeling to say so that, oh, let him go over the water into the reeds to hide without hurt. So he is wishing, oh God, he's wishing, please mankind, why do you unnecessarily want to kill a snake when it is not approaching you to bite you or to cause any harm to you? Why do you want to unnecessarily kill it and throw a stick towards it? Please let the snake go. Please let him go. How does he let it go? He says that over the water into the reeds to hide. Over the water. It immediately jumps into the water and it glides to the water and reaches to the reeds. Reeds are nothing but the long grass, children. Reeds are like bushy long grass. So he says that it's better let the snake move away, gliding into the watery surface, reaching the long grass, that is reeds, and let him hide behind. without hurt. So let the snake not be hurt. So he says that when a snake is not hurting us, not like it's not causing any harm to us, why do we need to kill it? Why do we need to hurt it? Why do we need to cause any harm to it? So let it go away. Let it walk away. Small and green, he is harmless. So now he is telling us about the size and also the color of the snake here. Which color is he telling all about, children? It is green in color and small. So small green colored snakes, they are not harmful. So he says that he is harmless even to children. So those kind of small green colored snakes, they won't harm even children, because children are very sensitive and delicate. Am I right? So he says clearly, the poet says clearly that please let him go, because he is so small and green in color and he is quite harmless. Even he is very harmless to children even. So please let him go. Along the sand he lay until observed. So where was he lying? Where was the snake lying before? He was lying along the sand. So in the sand he was just lying happily. He was taking rest until it was noticed. Until observed. Until it was noticed. Until people could know that there is a snake lying in the sand, along the sand. Then chased away. Until anybody noticed it, until somebody chased it to throw the stick and to kill it, it was happily just laying along the sand. It was just taking rest. Then what is the harm it is doing? Simply happily it is just sitting. It is taking rest. Why do we need to kill that snake? Why do we need to harm it? And now he vanishes in the ripples. Then he says that, and now he vanishes. Once it started moving, it vanishes. It of course gets disappeared. So it got disappeared. Where? He vanishes in the ripples. Ripples are nothing but, small waves in the water surface. It can be a pond or a river or any of the lakes kind of a thing, Once it jumps into the water and starts like moving, gliding in the water, it vanishes in the ripples. Ripples are small waves of the water. Among the green slim reeds. So in the corners, corners of the lakes or banks of the rivers, usually you see the long grass grown and bushy. So usually you find the snakes in those kind of places, because they are very quite convenient for the snakes to hide behind and under that. So the snake jumped into the water. It started gliding and it disappeared in the ripples. Ripples are nothing but the small gentle waves of the water. And also it could hide behind or under the reeds. So this is what is all about the snake. So in this poem, the poet tried to educate the people that all the snakes are not poisonous. Especially when it comes to the snakes which are small in size, which are green in color, are of course very harmless even to the young children also. If they play around the young children also, if they move around the young children also, one must not be, scareful or fearful, because they are harmless. They won't do any of the things because they are not poisonous. But since long years, we have been taught by our parents or the elders or somebody or the society, our conscience also, like it says that no, snakes are poisonous to kill. As I discussed before, telling that Snake is another poem which we have got in Communicative English, which was written by D.H. Lawrence. Even he says the same thing. It was the society. Then he shows the beauty there, having a dilemma in the person's mind, whether to kill it or not. Then he says that the society forces him to kill, but there is a conscience in him. The inner heart says that no, it is not a poisonous snake, please leave it. But of course, he was forced and he was influenced by the society to throw a stick onto it finally in that poem. Then he looks at the movement of the snake and snake vanishes. Then he feels that, oh my God, one of the beautiful guests has visited my place and I could not receive. So he compares the snake, with one of the guests who visited his house. Very beautiful description is given in that poem also. I definitely advise you and recommend you, children. You can surf through, you can just surf through D.H. Lawrence snake poem. You will definitely come to see. And it has got everything with the snake trying the same thing, more or less. It is the same explanation given. So this is all about the snake trying, written by W. Ross. And let's quickly go ahead with the questions as well. What is the snake trying to escape from? From the stroke of the stick. As the person was trying to hit the snake with a stick and it was trying to escape from the same. Is it a harmful snake? Of course not. What is its color? Its color is green. So it's green in color and small in size. Of course it's harmless. Poet finds a snake beautiful. How do you understand? What are the words? Of course he says that how beautiful and graceful are his shapes. Curvings of thin long body. These are the words used to describe its beauty. What does the poet wish for the snake? He is wishing for the snake's escape. He was like wishing, let the snake go happily without being hurt. So where was the snake before anyone saw it? It was laying along the sand near the reeds happily. Where does the snake disappear? It disappeared into the ripples to hide behind or under the reeds. I just gave you simple phrases. You will need to expand them into answers. And finally, they have just come up with another poem which is exclusively meant for your reading children. Like how we have got trees poem also on killing a tree, you all remember. So I would like to just recite it for you all. Please open page number 126. Just look at the poem, read and enjoy. Even this is all about a green snake, written by B.R. Lakshman Rao, and it is translated by A.K. Ramanujan. Early morning, the day before yesterday, under a slab of stone, in a crack, eyes glittering, forked tongue licking and flashing, a frog swelling his belly, he lay there quietly, a baby snake, 2 hands long, a green snake. What a beautiful description, see children. It means there was a small snake which has swallowed a frog, which could be seen by looking at its belly. Poor thing, it's a green snake, still a baby. What harm can it do? I said. My father replied, look at the way children, as I said, we were all being taught by the society. So society is nothing but our family, the people around, the neighborhood. So here father says to the boy, a snake is a snake. Come on, do not even just try to judge by its color. Snake is a snake. And mother says, that's where everyone walks. Oh my God, that is the way everybody walks. We don't need trouble. Kill it. Then mom said that I'm worried about the safety of my children. Please kill it because that is the way we walk. That is where we walk. So please kill it. Dad says, snake is snake. Mom says, kill it. I can't, I said. Father struck him with a piece of firewood, chased him outside and killed him flat. So what did father do? Thinking only about the safety of his family and children, he killed the snake at once by taking a firewood, in the sense like big stick in his hand. So people, human mentality, as I said, we do not want to really know whether it is poisonous or not. But as we are taught that snakes are poisonous and very dangerous, as soon as we look at the snakes, we feel like killing them. We feel like calling somebody to kill them. So this is what it tells us all about. So human beings need to be educated that all the snakes are not poisonous. There are snakes which are harmless also. It doesn't mean children that please approach the snakes wherever you see. Please, I do not mean to say that. Do not approach them and don't be like, panic if at all you come across any of the snakes. Especially if you find any snake green in color. It's of course harmless. But please do have the number of a snake catcher with you always. Immediately call them. They would catch the snakes and they will leave them in their own habitat places. So you need not worry about it. So save the animals and save the greenery. Try to maintain ecological balance. So whatever the worksheet I'm serving you children, please do attempt all the questions. And by now we have finished 9th unit. And next unit is going to be much more exciting. Whereas we are going to make our visit to Nepal, that is Kathmandu. Let's meet again next session. This is Vijaya signing off.